the Bills Patriots game, Josh Allen loves to spread the ball out. But this game is kind of an anomaly in my mind. I'm going to call it the game of what ifs and what could be and who knows. Because you have Cam Newton coming to town and the Patriots being the underdogs for the first time in many, many years to the Bills. You have Cam Newton who was benched. He's coming back. You wonder, and I'm only going to say this, and I don't want to cause a stir, but did COVID affect him differently? Is he a different player post-COVID than he was pre-COVID? So who knows? That could be an option too. But, this game we do see the wind, we do see the rain, and you could turn the game into a ground and pound type game. But what does that mean? You see the New England defense, number 1 defense for passing, but they're number 18 for rush attempts, number 20 for rush yards, but Bills are number 27th for rushing. They don't have a setback. Moss outplayed Singletary last week. Are they going to do that again? The over-under started at 43. I know we were talking about this earlier, that it's now a 41. But Mike, I think hit on it, but it's not. You're just joining us. We've noticed that all our over-unders for these games that have weather actually have dropped about 2 points from the start to now. So, with the wind and the weather, and then we have Josh Allen at $7,000, fifth quarterback in DFS. Not enough games that we have seen yet in type weather events. He likes to run, but he also likes to spread the ball. Do you take him? That's the question to you guys. Do you take him for 7,000 with a stack with maybe I don't even know. I mean, with Josh Brown's coming back, I would say the stack that I was looking at is Beasley, but there's upside on there. But there's also risk.
Yeah. So have we seen Allen play in the wind? I missed if you said it in the notes.
I could not. I don't think we have seen much of Allen play in the wind. With the max wind he's played in is about 16 miles an hour, and he's basically been pretty average. So I'm going to bring that up.
This is the winningest game.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. Remember, not that long ago, that Monday against Kansas City when it was raining. Now, I'm not saying we're going to get an event like that from rain, but we've seen Josh Allen in the rain recently, and it was not a pretty event for him. So if there's rain here, I'd be definitely more concerned with Josh Allen in this matchup.
Yeah. So I brought up all his weather events that we have, and the most wind was 16.11, and then precipitation.
Yeah, it does look like there's going to be a chance for rain here during this game. Yeah. Rain and wind. That sounds pretty brutal. I think I'm going to pass on Josh Allen this week, to be honest, in DFS lineups.
I'd agree. Yeah. I'm passing.
So then we get to the Patriots, and their offense. I'm so skeptical of what happens with Cam Newton. Cam Newton on weather events does perform about 5 points lower than his average that we've seen for winds and rain, but he's performing below his average, period. I don't know how you justify taking him. He's $5,700. I don't even think it's worth even contemplating him in a lineup, and being possibly benched again. Edelman's out. The receivers. The big question is Jacoby Myers. He had a great game last week. 6 catches, 60 yards, best game he's had all year. Do you take him for $3,500 on an upside? I mean, that could be. I mean, that's a risk, but I mean, that's a swing for the fences type money in DFS. What do you know?
I mean, if you're trying to massage him in your lineup, maybe, right?
Yeah. So I think. Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead.
No, I'm just surprised that Myers had such a game last week because all season he hasn't shown much at all, right? Before that, it seemed to be Bird. They still have Edelman there. I know the rookie, the wide receiver on the Patriots, who I'm losing his name in my. He's hurt, so I think there's a risk there with regards to Jacoby Myers, just because we haven't seen him a whole lot this year. And we tend to see some other wide receivers or running backs get involved in the passing game. So this
Mike, you were talking about N'Keal Harry, were you?
Right, thank you, N'Keal Harry. Yeah, I think he's hurt now.
Okay. Yeah, we'll have to do an update and get what his injury report is. I'm not sure what his status is right now.
He's questionable right now.
To round this out in this game, I mean, my opinion, stay away from everyone playing in this game. There just does not seem to be much upside. Mike's going to interrupt me, but I'm not going to let him this time. I was going to talk about the running backs, but this game is tough. Moss and Singletary, they don't really know what they're doing. the Bills don't know what they're doing with those two. And the Patriots, I believe, shoot, I'm looking at my notes. Sorry. You have James White, who did nothing last week. 0. And then Harris, who did well, I think he may be out this week. So I'm staying away from the running backs. I think this game has some upside for some, performance on the, like I said, the receiver, but I just don't think it's worth it.
So are you staying away? Zach Moss, $4,400. Devin Singletary, $5,100. You just staying away from these guys completely, or do you think any one of these is maybe a value at this point?
I mean, the value would be Zach Moss in my mind, but I'm staying away from him because you don't know. I mean, you just don't know. I think the running game is a mess in Buffalo right now, and this game is going to lead to a running game, and it's going to be a very interesting game. And on that note, I would say my personal preference, I would say take the under on this. I just don't see it being a high-scoring game. We saw what happened with the Bills in Kansas City in weather. They barely got to 43 points, and that's with Kansas City's high-powered offense. I think we just stay away, take the under. So our last game.
Wait, Colin. Before we go into the next game, I just want to say, I think you made a really important point with Cam Newton and weather events, and that 5 points is a tremendous amount of difference, compared to his normal means playing in weather games. So I just think that's probably one of the largest point differentials we've seen out of a quarterback playing in weather events.
Yeah, I mean, and the over-under for that game is not even 42 points. It's 41.5. So Vegas also is in tune with the weather. It
actually went down to 41.
Oh, went down. What is it now?
It's 41.
Okay, so 41 now. I mean, yeah. So there's not going to be a whole lot of points scored in this game. I'm with Colin on that one, and I'm not super excited about anyone on any side of the ball, potentially with the exception of maybe some of the Bills wide receivers, but even there.
Yeah, rule of thumb in DFS: go for the high over/under games to like build out your lineup.
And this is not one of them.